Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Shrewsbury Zoning Board of Appeals meeting for March 30th. We're going to get right into the meeting, but we do have a few housekeeping items to attend to. First on the agenda is to review and sign bills. I'm going to group three of them together. We've got a $458.72 community advocate bill from the January 26th, 2026 legal notices. $363 to the community advocate for the February 23rd, 2026 legal notices, and $401.50 to the community advocate for the March 30th, 2026 legal notices. Can I get a motion, please?
I move to approve those bills.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Welcome, Megan. Our fifth member is coming in remotely, Megan Minson.
I'm Megan.
Okay. Next on the agenda, this is to review and accept meeting minutes from the meetings of November 24th, 2025, December 22nd, 2025, and January 26th, 2026.
I move to accept the meeting minutes from those dates.
Second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So moved. Okay, moving right along into our public agenda. This is the first appeal. This is to hear the appeal of Praveen Kararaju, 600 South Street, Shrewsbury, Mass. 01545, for a variance to the Shrewsbury zoning bylaws, Section 6C, Table 3, to allow for a solar array 1.4 feet from the principal dwelling where 10 feet is required upon property located at 600 South Street in the Rural A zoning district. The subject premise is described on the Shrewsbury Assessor's Tax Plate 43, Plot 022001. Can the applicant please step forward? Welcome.
Hello. Good
Hi,
evening.
you can have a seat.
Thank you.
So this is a little bit of an interesting situation in that Praveen has been in front of our board previously, and we had a reconsideration of our decision. So you're back again this evening, and if we could just set the table for what you are trying to do, and then we can give you some feedback on that and proceed forward.
Sure, definitely. So I have a small solar array. It's a 3-panel array with 1.3 kilowatt array, very small one. That's powering a mini split, and it's off grid. It's not sending the power back to the grid. It's installed at 1.4 feet from the building, as opposed to the requirement is the 10 foot from the building. And the challenges with it's currently installed. The challenges with moving it, there are two options. One, obviously, to move it 10 foot from the building. The other option is put it on the roof, which is traditionally done. The challenge with moving it away from the building by 10 foot is when it gets moved, the trees in the neighboring property would cover most of the afternoons, therefore it would not be producing much of a solar. And then the challenge with moving to the rooftop is it's a very small one, and have to involve a professional for installation, and it's not economically viable from a cost perspective, because the amount it's going to produce versus the cost they put in to move to the rooftop is not economically viable.
Thank you for that. And it's my understanding that after our decision, you proactively removed the solar panel.
At this point, I'm actually waiting for, I have reached out the city and requesting the situation. I have not, it's not functional, it's not connected, but the panels are still there.
I just wanted to thank you for doing that. Not many people would have jumped in to be so proactive about that, so thank you for that. I'm going to open it up to the board for discussion. Before we move on, Louise, anything more we need to know on this, Griffin?
No, besides the reconsideration happened on February 2nd.
Thank you for that. Okay. All right, Dave, you want to start out?
Yeah, so I remember from last time you were here, we talked about I think you already mentioned how the trees, right, really limits you from locating it elsewhere in the yard. I did want to ask you again, what is the visibility of these panels from the road, right? Is it
Almost none. They were back to the backside of the building. So the visibility to the front entrance and the door is almost not visible. But if I may add something that I didn't mention, from the safety perspective, it's quite accessible from the three sides of the panels if emergency or somebody needs to get to the panel. So from the safety side, those things are covered, but from the visibility, it is not.
Okay, and you installed the panels yourself, that's correct?
That is right. But I had the electrician come in and do the electrical work under the permit that permit was approved, and then it was inspected after the permit, and after the inspection, it was approved as well.
Okay, and then, I think I asked this last time, what's like the approximate square footage of land area that the panels take up? Is it like 60 feet?
It is roughly 60 feet. That's right. Yes.
Okay, 60 square feet. Okay, no more questions.
Thank you. Ann?
So I want to thank you for coming back in front of the board tonight. And I want to acknowledge that the last time around, I had incomplete information about safety and building permits, and so now we've been brought up to speed on that. So I feel very comfortable with the solar panel array, with the way you've done it, with the way it was permitted, and the safety. So thank you for waiting for us to come back. And I don't have any other questions. I just want to say thank you.
Thank you.
Fran?
Just to help me go back in memory with this, the town issued a building permit for this. The town the gentleman had an inspection done, then he had an electrical inspection done. Is there, I noticed, I'm still confounded why it's on the western side of your house. I don't get why you would put solar panels there. Unless they're sticking way up and tilted backwards toward the sun.
So they are on the west side and also facing the west, and that's where you'll get most of the sun, especially from the noon.
For your property, western sun is better, is what you're
That's
saying. I see. Okay. No, I don't know why we don't let this gentleman move on.
Okay, fair enough. Megan? Not sure where Megan is.
I'm here.
Any comments, questions?
Just echoing Ann's comments. I was in a similar situation where I misunderstood that the last time this came around that a permit had been issued for this. And then it was only after the project was complete that the variance came was noted that was needed. So I apologize for that. I'm feeling very comfortable about this, and I have no further comment.
Thank you, Megan. And I would just echo what all of my board members said, and also thank you for your patience throughout this. We appreciate that.
We stepped on ourselves.
Yes, anything else that we need to know before we move forward on a vote? Okay, why don't I get a,
Madam,
Fran?
any abutters here that would like to comment?
Oh, thank you. This is a public hearing. Is there anyone that wishes to be heard on this matter? Okay, can I get a motion to close the public hearing, please?
I'll motion to close.
Two?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 So moved. Can I get a motion, please?
I move to approve the appeal of Praveen Kosaraju of 600 South Street, Shrewsbury, for a variance to the Shrewsbury zoning bylaw, section 7C, table 3, to allow for a solar array 1 4/10 feet from the principal dwelling where 10 feet is required upon property located at 600 South Street in the Rural A zoning district. The subject premise is described on the Shrewsbury Assessor's Tax Plate 43, plot 022001.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So moved. Wonderful. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, everybody, for your time.
Thanks.
All right, moving on to our next hearing. Okay, this is to hear the appeal of Samantha Orman, 101 Grove Street, Shrewsbury, Mass. 01545, for two variances to the Shrewsbury zoning bylaws, section 6, table 2, to construct an accessory dwelling unit 10 feet from the side yard setback where 20 feet is required, and 12 feet from the rear yard setback where 40 feet is required upon property located at 101 Grove Street in the Residence A zoning district. Subject premise is described on the Shrewsbury Assessor's Tax Plate 46, Plot 084000. And we do have, part of this is being withdrawn,
This particular appeal, yes, for the ADU.
the entire,
Yep.
okay. All right, so can I get a motion to withdraw, please?
I moved,
We
doesn't,
moved,
they moved,
they moved.
we
They
don't have to
asked
move.
us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry
Right,
about
I mean,
that.
if they have, if the applicants have anything else to
Anything
add?
further to
No,
say?
sure, yes. So after further consideration, based on the town legal counsel, commentary from the board initially, we will likely come back with a different idea sometime in the near future, likely adjusting to place it, place a in-law apartment, whatever we're calling this, above the garage where it is now. However, that's a non-conforming structure too, so we'll be adjusting to update that as well. So we will be back with something in the near future, so.
I just want to inquire on this. Okay.
Yes.
Could you, if you're willing,
Sure.
could you share the reasons why you're withdrawing? Was it the setbacks? Was it?
Sure. So we actually had gone and I hired a lawyer as well, sat with them several times just to kind of get our own interpretation on the legality of the law as well from a perspective of, your legal counsel is from the perspective of the town, and so we went as well. And unfortunately, it's gray, right? The interpretation of this law is gray. So initially we had
Essentially,
thought,
you denied us.
least restrictive, most permissive. However, right in that,
Yeah.
in the legality of the law is very gray, right? And now that I fully understand that, unfortunately, and we certainly, and I will be, I'll say this, I think it's fair to say at this moment, we wouldn't go back for an ADU. I'd
No.
ask for a special permit just because of the,
Absolutely not.
Okay,
certain
well,
constraints
We
to
did
it.
what we
Reasonable
felt
minds
was
can
within
disagree
the
on-
parameters, and the town disagreed with us about the.
Sorry, say it again?
We did what we felt was within the parameters about the least restrictive, most permissive about the boundaries. And what we interpreted as, and actually I believe you actually sided with us, the rest of the board wanted to move it to legal department and it was denied.
I mean, it
So
wasn't
if,
officially denied, but-
if the setbacks were what you thought they were, would you still be going ahead with the ADU?
we would even be, this is fair to say, we haven't discussed this clearly, but,
Okay,
had.
that's fair. I'm just-
Had we, even
I
if there
mean-
was some leeway to it, let's say, I can't say right now, but if there was some leeway to that, then we may have considered moving forward with that.
We spent money with the
Yeah.
contractor, developing the plan.
Yeah.
ADUs are significantly more expensive. You gotta run a separate electric service,
Separate
sewer,
water and
everything.
sewer, because
It's a-
that's-
it's a
You
lot more money.
understand the ADU opinion from the town council then?
Yep.
Yeah,
Reasonable minds
Yeah.
can differ from town council's opinion, but the town is bound by it. So just thank you very much for sharing that. And yeah, if you want to withdraw, fine.
yes, so we would like to
You're
withdraw
formally
that
requesting
application,
withdrawal.
please.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
get a motion to withdraw, please. Well, I'm sorry, I'm a little bit off my game this evening. Okay, so we are going to move forward with the withdrawal on that hearing, so you're all set.
So should we call the next one?
Well, we're up next again.
Okay, that's where I was getting confused,
So-
because we
No,
have it
you're-
written in a
yeah.
different way.
Yep, they're two separate
shed.
applications, so you can, usually what we do have a vote sheet to
Withdraw.
withdraw without prejudice, so it is on file.
Okay, so the
So,
next one is
to-
for the shed.
But that's
need to make a
separate,
motion.
so we need to make a motion to either.
To approve the withdrawal.
To withdraw without
There we
prejudice.
go.
Well, I would
Yes.
like to make
Oh,
a
I'm
motion,
good.
It's not our first meeting, by the way.
It feels like it.
yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the withdrawal of the applicant without prejudice.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So the next one, this is for the two variances for the shed.
Right.
All right. So, I've already read the legal notice, so I think we can move right into discussions.
I think you need to read the legal notice for the pergola and the shed, because we read it for the ADU.
They were two, they came in at
Yep,
separate
you want me
times.
to read it?
Separate
It's this one.
applications.
Didn't I just read that?
No, you read the ADU one. They look the same, but they're not.
I am so sorry. Okay.
Okay.
All right, here we go. This is not my first meeting, I promise you. Now I'm seeing that there are two on my sheet. Okay, so the next hearing this is to hear the appeal of Samantha Orman, 101 Grove Street, Shrewsbury, Mass., for 3 variances to the Shrewsbury zoning bylaws, Section 6, Table 3, to allow for a shed 3.7 feet from the rear and 2.5 feet from the side where 10 feet is required, and 1 variance to allow a pergola less than 10 feet to the principal dwelling upon property located at 101 Grove Street in the Residence A zoning district. Subject premise is described on the Shrewsbury Assessor's Tax Plate 46, Plot 084000. And if we could, any further information before we start our conversation?
No, I'll let the applicant.
Okay, all right.
This secondary application I understand why there may have been some confusion about that, because initially, when we came for that first application, the building inspector then said, please come and take care of these other things that you need to take care of. So we are here, seeking that permission at this point, and,
We're just trying to get everything right with the town,
Yeah.
because we know that
Yep.
moving on with the other project, we've got to get these things straightened out.
Okay. Dave, you want to start?
So the shed, is that a replacement of a pre-existing non-conforming? Or is that a new structure?
It's been there.
Existing.
Okay. And then same with the pergola?
What, a new structure?
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Pergola it was a kit.
It's already there.
that's,
Basically,
yeah,
the
it's a
kit,
Home
you know,
Depot kit, but
yeah.
because it's still a structure, so now we are trying to be in line with I am now understanding so much more about all of these rules, so
Yep.
now I know, so, because we do want to move forward and, present again with another idea, ideally, right, we would want to make sure that the rest of these things that would be an issue further are taken care of before we move forward with a separate kind of project, so.
And is the shed a permanent shed or a temporary shed?
I guess technically be permanent, but you
It can
can
be
pick up with a
moved, right?
forklift.
It's a
You can pick the thing up with a
movable.
forklift.
Okay. I guess it's been a while since the first time you guys came before us. Louise, can you help me out here? Do you have any extra details?
So no, I think these were caught on the plot plan that was provided, which is why the building commissioner said, like, these are non-conforming, they're not within the setback, so to have them there, they need
Yeah, you need
Okay.
to take care
need
of
to
them
be
now.
in line with setbacks or request relief.
They were built a long time ago, the pergola and the shed.
I built the pergola
It was 3 years ago.
3
years
years
ago.
ago, yeah.
Okay,
They're not.
Yeah,
okay.
everything is, it's nothing.
Not immediately recent. Okay, no further questions.
Yeah.
Okay. Ann?
So I think what I'm understanding is that the shed and the pergola are there. You wanted to move forward on the ADU project, but in order to go forward with that, you had to come into compliance because the shed and the pergola
Are not
violating
Yep, or
the
violation of the
setbacks.
bylaws. Yep,
Is that where we are? Okay.
yes.
Great.
Yes.
I don't have any other questions. Thank you.
Fran?
I'm good.
Megan?
No further questions from me.
Okay. And thank you for unraveling it. Now it's all kind of,
No,
it's a little
there's lot of
complicated.
pieces.
Yeah, there's a lot of pieces. And,
Hopefully
okay.
next time it won't be as complicated.
Okay, well, I have no further comments. This is a public hearing. Is there anyone that wishes to be heard on this matter? Okay, can I get a motion to close the public hearing, please? Louise?
Just to state again, the hardship request for the variance criteria is just the small and constrained size of the lot. That's what was stated on the application, just to state that. And then there are just a couple of waiver requests. All in all, the plot plan provides all the information needed, I believe, for a decision tonight, though. But there's just like names and addresses of direct abutters, location of utility lines and connections, elevations. So just a few there, but again, I believe you have all the information you need. Regardless.
Okay. All right, can I get a motion to close the public hearing, please?
Move to close the public hearing.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
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 So moved.
Do a motion
So-
to move to approve the waivers first.
Yeah, we've got
We should-
9.
Just, we can do them all together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so, can I get a motion, first, a motion to, a motion on the hearing in general? So you're gonna do the waivers first?
I'll do the waivers first.
Okay,
Yeah.
motion to approve waivers, please.
Could I move to approve the waivers as requested.
A second?
Second?
All in favor?
We're
Aye.
talking about
Aye.
the shed, right?
We're just talking about the waivers first.
Which waivers are you
So,
talking about?
so,
Sorry,
These are
another
the
complication.
waivers.
Oh, yeah, I understand.
Yeah,
Oh, I don't
yeah,
have a
the
problem.
butters,
Okay.
yeah.
I'm sorry, I thought I'm looking for something in here.
no worries.
Very rarely go back there.
Okay, next, we need a motion, please.
I second. Didn't you make a motion?
I made a motion and we're,
Yeah.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
So moved.
Aye.
Okay, so moved. I think we're good.
no, now we need to make a motion to approve I move to approve the request of Samantha Ormond, 101 Grove Street, Shrewsbury, for 3 variances to the Shrewsbury zoning bylaws, section 7, table 3, to allow for a shed 3 7/10 feet from the rear and 2 5/10 feet from the side, where 10 feet is required, and 1 variance to allow a pergola less than 10 feet to the principal dwelling upon property located at 101 Grove Street in the Residence A zoning district. Subject premise is described on the Shrewsbury Assessor's Tax Plate 46, Plot 084000.
Can I get a second, please?
I second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 So moved. Thank you.
so much.
Thank you.
We'll see you again.
See you
Thank
again.
you.
Couple
Thanks for
months.
coming.
All right. Next, this is to hear the appeal of Scott Davidson, 13 First Ave, number 1, Dudley, Mass. 01571, for a special permit to the Shrewsbury zoning bylaws, section 4C, to allow for an addition on a pre-existing non-conforming dwelling, 28.8 feet from the front setback, where 30 feet is required on property located at 32 Oak Street in the Residence B2 zoning district. The subject premise is described on the Shrewsbury Assessor's Tax Plate 27, Plot 064000. Welcome, if you could state your name for the record.
Scott Davidson.
And Evan Perone.
Okay, if you could just tell us a little bit about what you're here for.
We want to expand the house on the right-hand side to allow for a master bathroom and a porch on the back of the house. And it's set back from the existing front of the house, but it's still non-conforming. The porch is 20 feet from the road, and the addition will be 28.8 feet.
Okay, give us a second to just get everything up in front. Dave? Well, let me start with anything from planning first.
Yeah, the plot plan originally did not display the closest point to the setback, but we do not believe that it goes any further into the nonconformity, therefore not affecting.
Anything else?
Is there a side yard?
Okay, Dave, you want to start?
Sure. So, yeah, like was just said, it looks like the addition just continues that front face of the home and really doesn't
Correct. Yeah,
increase
the-
that.
the porch is 6 feet deep, and then the front of the house, that addition to the right steps back 2 feet, and then the new addition is 1 foot forward from that, so we get the full gable to match the other gable.
Yep. Okay. So that looks so.
So
it's
the,
not- you're
the
not
front of the
increasing
house
your,
is, the existing house is a foot further to the road than the addition.
Okay, and that makes sense why the line is right at the corner of the new addition.
Yeah, it's very close.
Yeah, and because the porch is not part of the project, right? That's not part of
Correct.
the consideration here.
No,
And then the only other thing I was noting is that the distance to the side setback, that's the 18.5 feet, correct?
correct,
Okay, so we're not considering that either because the side yard setback is 10 feet.
right, and the rear setback is beyond the 40 feet, I believe we need.
Yeah, it's way back there. Okay. Yeah, no further questions.
Okay, Ann?
It doesn't look like you're increasing the nonconformity significantly. In fact, you're
No.
not increasing it at all,
No,
so,
we're not increasing it at all.
okay, I don't have any problem with it, thank you.
Fran?
So we're talking about, a tent, a foot and a tent here? 2 tents? 28 to 30?
Yeah.
Yeah,
20 or 30.
that's the only question I have. Okay, I'm good.
Okay. Megan?
No comments from me.
Okay, great. And I don't have any further comments either. This is a public hearing. Is there anyone that wishes to be heard on this matter? Can I get a motion to close the public hearing, please?
Move to close the public hearing?
Need a second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So moved. Okay, can I get a motion, please?
I will. Let me try one. I make a motion that we accept the the special permit request at 32 Oak Street, which is residential B2, Scott Davidson. Special permit section 4C to allow for an addition on a pre-existing non-conforming dwelling, 28 8/10 from the front yard setback where 30 feet is required. Motion to approve this.
Can I get a second?
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 All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So moved. Thank you very
Excellent.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, the next,
Where are we now?
To be doing roll call votes for these. I just got a text from Mark about that. Okay, I'm just gonna whisper to you since it was looking over at me. I didn't say it.
I would, so each person has to?
All of them?
Yeah, okay, just because we have remote participation, okay.
And the
all right.
ones we did before, too? We're going forward.
Moving forward.
Okay, okay. All right, sorry about that. All right, the next hearing, this is to hear the appeal of Rapali Agrawal, 52 Irita Road, Shrewsbury, Mass., for a special permit to the Shrewsbury zoning bylaws, section 6, table 1, for an in-home residential kitchen business upon property located at 52 Irita Road in the Rural A zoning district. The subject premise is described on the Shrewsbury Assessor's Tax Plate 20, Plot 023050. Is the applicant?
Might not be in attendance,
Okay.
but that's
Okay.
okay.
So the applicant has requested a withdrawal of this. So, can I get a motion, please?
I move to approve the withdrawal of this matter without prejudice.
And
Or
second.
let me be more specific, sorry, for 52 Irita Road, Shrewsbury, for a special permit to the Shrewsbury zoning bylaw, section 6, table 1, for an in-home residential kitchen business upon property located at 52 Irita Road in the Rural A zoning district.
Can I get a second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Ready
Dave?
to do roll call?
Yeah. Dave Moore?
Aye.
Ann Ruffalo?
Aye.
Fran Manella?
Aye.
Megan Vincent?
Aye.
Mary Beth Lynch, aye. So moved. Okay, moving right along. This is to hear the appeal of Richard Ricker, 11 Maple Avenue, Shrewsbury, Mass., for 2 variances to the Shrewsbury zoning bylaws, section 6B, table 2, to allow for the construction of a building 35 feet from the rear setback where 50 feet is required, and 17 feet from the side setback where 50 feet is required, upon property located at 703-715 Hartford Turnpike in the limited industrial zoning district. Subject premise is described on the Shrewsbury Assessor's Tax Plate 42, Plot 022000. And this is also a request for a withdrawal. Can I get a motion?
I move to approve the withdrawal without prejudice for the appeal of Richard Ricker, 11 Maple Avenue, Shrewsbury, for 2 variances to the Shrewsbury zoning bylaws, section 7B, table 2, to allow for the construction of a building 35 feet from the rear setback where 50 feet is required and 17 feet from the side setback where 50 feet is required upon property located at 703-715 Hartford Turnpike in the limited industrial zoning district.
Okay, can I get a second?
Second?
All in favor? Dave Moore?
Aye.
Ann Ruffalo?
Aye.
Fran Manella?
Aye.
Megan Vincent?
Aye.
Mary Beth Lynch, aye. So moved.
Curious, is there anyone here from them? Okay.
I think so.
Okay. Next is to hear the appeal of David Hemming, 500 Industrial Park Road, Deep River, Connecticut, 06417, for a variance to the Shrewsbury zoning bylaws, section 6, E5A to allow for a sign within the front yard setback upon property located at 420 Boston Turnpike in the Commercial Business District zoning district. The subject premise is described on the Shrewsbury Assessor's Tax Plate 33, Plot 079000. Welcome, if you could please state your name for the record.
Good evening. My name is John Morrison. I'm with Connecticut Sign Service.
And John Crandall with McGovern Automotive Group.
Thank you. Could,
Can I give you guys a
do
printout?
you have something for all of us?
I do.
Okay, great, thank you.
But people online.
Thank you. How are you?
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
Looks like you've got the same image up on the board there, up on the monitor, or close to it. So, this property's undergone a lot of redevelopment over the last several years from what was there previously. Currently, the Floor and Decor store is on the front part of the property. On the rear part is an enormous automotive collision center, body shop, employing a whole bunch of people with, it's a remarkable facility to go in there, and they've got a whole bunch of people working on vehicles in there. And we've been working with them on the plan for this and working with Patty on this for over a year now. It's important to mention that the sign that we're proposing is compliant. The height of the sign, the square footage of the sign, everything about the dimensions of the sign comply with the zoning regulations. The issue is, on this property, there's a required 20-foot setback from the property line. I work throughout the Northeast, and sometimes it's written a setback from a curb or from a street line. Property line is certainly a very common term to be used for this. And most of the signs on Boston Turnpike are 20 or so feet back from the, certainly none are closer to the road than that, but they're all pretty consistent with where we're proposing this one. The sign for Floor and Decor is in line with where we're proposing this sign. The thing that's unique about this property is there's a state right-of-way that's in between the guardrail and where the property line actually starts. So it looks like the front 40 feet of this property is actually 28 feet that's a state right-of-way, and then our 20-foot setback would begin. So for us to install the sign to comply with the zoning regulations and not be before you for a variance, this sign will be 48 feet back from the road. Where it's shown in this drawing, it's 28 feet back from the road. So it's 8 feet further than what I would state is the intended distance back from the road for line of sight, for safety, for all the reasons that your bylaws are written. And I think it's certainly consistent with the intent of the bylaws, because we're 8 feet greater than what they would require if the property line was up closer to the curb. And the sign, Patty and I discussed making sure that the McGovern sign didn't block line of sight to the Floor and Decor sign, and also vice versa, coming the other direction. I've actually got images here where we took a sign, the sides of the McGovern sign, we flew it up in the air on one of our bucket trucks in the same area where this would be. I flew a drone back and forth and traveled back and forth and got pictures, just made sure to verify that the line of sight, that the signs don't compete with each other, and they don't. Putting it here has it on the grass part of the property completely. The foundation is like 18 or so feet back from the property line. The frontmost part of the sign cabinet that's up in the air 30 feet, that would be about 2 feet back from the property line. That's the part that I'm referring to as being 28 feet back from the curb line. And when it's installed, it'll look like what you see here. Any questions I can answer?
Okay, that's it, all right.
Yeah.
Louise,
Anyone
anything we
have?
need to know?
Is there anything, Kushal?
So from the staff comment letter, we noted that
we noted that it is 8 feet, proposed to be 8 feet from the front yard setback, where 20 feet is required. And the applicant stated that location of existing structures as a reason for the hardship for this variance.
Thank you. Dave, you want to start?
Yeah, I think you articulated well that your hardship here is the lot line and the distance from the actual roadway, the difference there. That makes sense to me. It also, I feel like a literal enforcement of the bylaw here would force you to put it, if not further downslope from the roadway, it would be like in the parking lot.
It'd be in the parking lot.
Yeah, and that doesn't seem reasonable, so, yeah, I see no problem with it.
Ann?
Good evening, so thanks for coming.
Sure.
So there is an existing sign for the Floor and Decor sign.
There is.
Floor and Decor store. And if I'm understanding correctly, that whole parcel has the same ownership. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a
So-
front building, building 1 and building 2. 2 is the rear, that's where we are.
Okay. So why can't the McGovern sign go on the Floor and Decor sign?
Honestly, it would get, for the size of the facility and the distance back, it'd be lost in the scope. I mean, there's actually, without a variance, we could put the McGovern sign next to the Floor and Decor sign. We talked about this with Patty and in terms of expediting permitting and trying to do it faster, but it would look very crowded. It would look very weird to have these two signs on top of each other. Also, if you're familiar with the site, right next to the Floor and Decor sign is a pole with an abandoned sign cabinet. Have you guys seen that?
Yes.
I have a picture of it
Yes.
on my phone I can show you, but part of this application also is that we'll be removing that structure. So it'll be just the Floor and Decor sign, and then this sign. We also have this sign, when you look from Boston Turnpike back at the rear building, it's actually the full depth of the Floor and Decor building, but it also goes a couple hundred feet to the right of the Floor and Decor building. So when you look onto the property from where this proposed sign is located, you look back and you actually see the McGovern building in line with where this sign would be. And it's just and I also think that the pylon sign that is identified as Floor and Decor is also tied up in that lease. It's not available for this
It was part
building,
of
this
their
property.
lease when they built that property. That sign was with that property, so. We needed to separate, as Patty said, we could put it behind it and meet the zoning requirements, but it looked foolish to have one behind the other and very congested. She thought moving it up the road would make more sense. And we're set so far back from the road, our building. We're the largest body shop in Massachusetts, but nobody knows we're there.
Oh, well, we know you're there, yeah. As you drive down Route 9, you know, adding another sign, I think, makes it very visually congested. And because it has common ownership, the parcel has common ownership, I would prefer to see one sign with both companies on it.
Again, I actually did the sign for Floor and Decor. I did all the signs at Floor and Decor as an installer for a national company that they hired. That's how I met the McGovern dealership. But that entire sign contractually is not available. It's tied up for Floor and Decor. May I show you a picture? It's on here. The alternative is it's putting the exact same sign and putting it on the existing island right next to that sign. This is literally exactly the scale.
You're suggesting put it on top of, aren't you?
I don't think she's
Combine them
suggesting-
somewhere.
I think it's
So-
not having it at all.
yeah.
Just putting it
Okay.
Excuse me, sir.
So,
Yeah, I
hang on,
think we
hang
need
on, hang on.
to step back in the front of
This doesn't get
Yeah.
captured in the meeting. No
Yeah.
one can hear you.
So we can't
on
Why
see
are you
it.
gonna be in front of the microphone?
And we don't have a way of showing the public what you're showing us. just
Okay.
like when you handed us the signs.
I understand.
So that's a confusion, and we have to make sure to abide by the rules. So we
Okay.
can't really admit that, if you will.
Okay.
But understood,
Okay.
understood. Ann,
I think I made my point. Thanks.
Okay.
Fran,
Yeah, I'm having trouble seeing why I have a problem with where they want to put the sign. It's far away from the floor decor sign. Heck, you could see Floor Decor's fascia with a big logo on it better than you could see the sign. I don't see why this is a problem for me. I think that's fine.
Megan?
Reviewing this myself, I thought it was placed well and everything. I think with your explanation of the reasoning for the placement and all of the work that you've done with Patty to get where we are now, I'm even more comfortable. I hear Ann's comments that, typically for a development like this, you would want to see a single sign with 2 tenants on the face. I don't know why that didn't happen here. But all things considered, I'm comfortable with the location of this sign, so.
One thing, ma'am.
Yes.
Before, I'll reserve judgment until I hear if there's any abutter objection from Floor Decor or anybody.
Yeah, and I'm kind of in the Ann camp on this one. I'm struggling with, it feels very onerous to me, seeing 2 signs on where you have them located. I also feel that the signs just are not visually cohesive. They're 2 completely different signs. It just feels like I'm really confused about what's going on there. And that's my concern. Yeah, I'm curious to see if there's any further discussion from the public, unless anyone else has anything.
I'm trying to understand you, Madam Chair. You're wishing that they were either both red or both blue and green, or what?
Well, the logos compete in my mind color-wise, but that's not what I'm really talking about. I'm talking about the pylon sign at the bottom is a round cylindrical almost, right? And that competes in my mind with the black square sign of the Floor and Decor.
Oh, madam, then your objection is more to the post than the actual content and size of the sign.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say.
Okay.
May I clarify something?
Yes.
The structure here, I see what you mean where the highlight on the gradient makes it appear round. It's actually square. And I'm certain I have a cross-section drawing of that. If you give me a moment, I have a paper copy of it.
Make it black.
What you provided us does not look, that looks cylindrical to me.
It does.
Yep.
It's functional.
Well, if you look at the
Like
size,
shadows,
it's there.
too, they got the-
It's up on the screen, if I may.
Oh, there you go.
So it's across the base, it's 5 feet wide, and front to back, it's 2 feet 6. So it's 30 inches square corner, and then 5 feet across here, and then it's 4 feet across here, and it is 18 inches vertically. But this is, and again, I didn't see it until you mentioned it, and now that you mentioned it, I can't unsee it. It looks like it's round because of the highlight up the middle. But it actually is it's a silver metallic finish, like an automotive finish. And that is a absolutely flat panel with a square corner, and then a flat panel on the side in both sections.
So all the corners are square.
All the corners are square. On the cabinets of the signs, as well as on these pole sections.
What's the feasibility of making the post black?
I don't
Ran through the
think,
chair.
I'm sorry.
I said, go ahead, Louise.
yeah, and I don't know that color, we're not here to discuss their
Yeah.
So it
logo
doesn't matter what
and
color.
brand colors.
It doesn't matter to us.
Correct.
Well, that doesn't seem to make sense, but okay.
I mean, we
Okay,
can
cool.
still state our opinion, but it has nothing to do with
Right,
our
not the
judgment
appeal.
of us, right?
Oh,
I
okay, I
would-
get it. I see, okay.
I would love to see there be a little more cohesion myself, but I understand now that you say that it's square. It does not appear that way in any of the materials that we have. Louise?
And so, I do want to just state too, I understand, you know, everyone has lease and contract agreements, but I don't think that is, you know, necessarily before the board either.
Pertinent to our discussion.
Right. And I will say, like, the history of this site as well, also, I believe it used to have multiple tenants on this existing pylon sign. They're reusing it from the original, you know, the flea market that used to be there, if I am correct. And there was a few slots, so it's not unheard of for, you know, and not out of picture to have multiple signs advertising on one sign. That was the original before Floor and Decor and McGovern came here.
Yeah.
And I know that, you know, has been for the board before that you've been able to consolidate and signage.
Right.
I mean, we see that a lot around town where we have multiple stores on one pylon, and to me, it removes the noise of what I'm feeling is happening with the competition of the two signs. Thank you for explaining the what it's going to look like. I still feel like the signs compete with one another on one parcel. That's my biasness.
Okay. There were, when we put up the Floor and Decor signs, see there's two white panels below the red
Yes.
Floor and Decor panel?
Yes.
Those two panels, I think one had like a tile brand and one had like an installation division on it.
Okay.
They're in my shop. They've been there for 2 years. They weren't put up branded, and they were going to put other stuff on there, but that's all part of their square footage in their, whatever it is, 20-year lease. And again, I hear what you're saying from my experience working with national retailers, Floor and Decor, with the investment they've made in that building. They're not gonna they're not gonna give up square footage that they don't have to share the pylon with another business. And from McGovern Automotive,
And that's why
With
we
the-
separated them about 100 feet apart, so they are separate. We're behind it, and that sign is more, as John mentioned, more in front of our property. And the Floor and Decor is right at their entrance, which they're right up against the road. So
right,
we did
Given
the
that
best
there's
we
no
could.
entrance to your, it feels like you've put a sign in the middle of something that should be more cohesive, in my opinion. I've stated that. Right. Any other comments?
I might have more to say after public comment.
Yeah, not sure that there will be any. Okay, this is a public hearing. Is there anybody that wishes to be heard on this matter? All right. Can I get a motion to close the public hearing, please?
Move to close the public hearing.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Actually, one last question for you folks. The McGovern Collision Center, is that a separate property from the Floor and Decor Center? This is all the same landowner?
It's all the same landowner. We don't own the property. We're a tenant, and we lease the entire rear building. It's like
Yep.
130,000 square feet.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I was clear on that. Yeah, and then I have comments for some of the things that were brought up before about like it being quantity of signs. Well, I think I more or less in spirit agree that fewer signs is better. I think that the distance between this sign and the Floor and Decor sign is adequate enough. This Route 9 corridor is, and this may even be hurting my argument here, but it is loaded with signs. And I understand there may be a desire of some to reduce the overall quantity of signs to make sure it is more aesthetically pleasing. But I think if the applicant here has done what they can and exhausted their efforts to get on the other sign, and this is the best way to go for them, the argument of, well, they need to put it in the spot where it is, and this is tying it directly to their application for a variance, is that they have to put it there because they can't put it further into their property without it being an unreasonable and unreasonable literal enforcement of the bylaw. So, that's all I got.
I don't think it meets the criteria for a special permit. I think it does create a nuisance by way of unsightliness. I don't think it's in harmony with the intent of the bylaw.
Do you prefer this to it being right on top of the other one? And I'm thinking the Floor and Decor sign, the overall sign is 8 feet wide. The McGovern building is the size of a Home Depot. It's a massive, massive building with dozens of employees in it. To fit that building onto a sign that a hair salon would have if they were in a shopping center next to a big Y, it doesn't seem practical to me. I mean, and Floor and Decor, I mean, they've got like 7 signs on a building. They've got huge signs that feature all the different things that they cover. I think that the alternative is gonna be that we're gonna end up with the same sign really crowded on top of the sign that's there now. I mean, they can do it without a variance. We were doing all of this, including waiting and doing this to aesthetically not have it be crowded on top of that other sign. Again, the sign complies with the regulations. The site allows for more than one sign. You know, we weren't having a second sign on the property didn't require a variance. It only required a variance to put it where it wouldn't be even more crowded than what is of concern. So I hear you, I respect what you're saying. I think that the variance as proposed gives a much less crowded and less strange appearance to an area that does have a lot of signs in it. And again, that abandoned sign that's right next to the Floor and Decor sign will be coming out with this sign going in.
Thank you.
So,
Fran, anything more?
Yeah, just looking at the whole situation here, I think the signs are far enough apart. I get the idea that we'd like to mass signs or stack them, but it's a big, long piece of frontage here. And I just don't see where this does not meet the criteria for a variance. It's not unsightly, it's not detrimental, it's not gonna cause traffic problems. It's a business, commercial setting. You know, I think this meets the criteria personally.
Okay. Megan?
I don't have any further comment from what I previously said.
Okay. I'm going to side with Ann on this one. I feel like does not meet the criteria, and I do feel like it's unsightly, and I am concerned. It feels to me like there's, you have a tenant relationship with Floor and Decor, and I am concerned that you didn't see this coming, so to speak. It just feels unsightly, and I don't think it meets the criteria for a variance myself. So with that being said, can I get a motion, please?
We're closing public hearing.
Yes, thank you. We closed, did we?
Correct.
We already closed it, Fran. Thank you. Any further? All right, can I get a motion?
We can get a motion to accept or a motion to deny, which way you want.
Well,
I'll make a motion to approve the requested variance where we are here. What do you want me to read in? Oh, thank you. To allow for the.
Sorry, wrong.
Pardon me, ma'am? What do I have to start writing?
I'm sorry.
No, that's not the one. That's the front.
That's the other one.
Where are we?
There we go. Sorry.
Okay. I recommend, or I make a motion to approve the variance to the bylaws, section 7E5A, to allow for a sign within the front yard setback upon the property located at 420 Boston Turnpike in the Commercial Business District zoning district. The subject premises is described in the Shrewsbury Assessor's Tax Plate 33, plot 079000.
Second?
Second?
All in favor? Dave?
Aye. Oh, go ahead, roll.
This
roll
was a
call.
motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Aye.
Ann?
No.
Fran?
Aye.
Megan?
Aye.
Mary Beth Lynch? No.
And,
No.
yeah, I didn't hear.
Move to deny. So we need a supermajority, okay.
Yeah,
So the motion carries, okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So it does carry with 3?
It does, you have the majority of the vote.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
These are hard to figure out.
Next hearing, this is to hear the appeal of Brian Anderson, 27 North Street, Shrewsbury, Mass., for a special permit to the Shrewsbury zoning bylaws, Section 7B, to allow for an addition on a pre-existing non-conforming dwelling, 7.7 feet from the side setback where 10 feet is required on property located at 27 North Street in the Residence B1 zoning district. Subject premise is described on the Shrewsbury Assessor's Tax Plate 11, Plot 043000. Good evening. If you could state your name for the record, please, and let us know what you're going to be doing.
Brian Anderson.
Emily Anderson.
Welcome.
Thank you.
We're applying for the special permit.
Excuse me, late entry. Michael Halley.
Michael Halley is our
Oh,
architect.
yes. Hi, Mike.
Emily and I have lived in Shrewsbury the majority of our lives. We're both Shrewsbury High graduates. Bought our existing home in 2014. We have 3 children. The home doesn't have a true family room. We've tried a couple of different rooms over the years, and the one that we're currently using is kind of long and narrow, and we like to host, we like to have friends and family over, and the room that we're using as a family room right now, not really conducive to hosting larger gatherings. So we'd like to improve the home. We love the home, we love the neighborhood, we have a really good relationship with all of our neighbors. So we'd like to stay and put this family room addition off the rear of the home. And we've hired Mike to help us out with proposed drawings of this. And Emily also did her best to run around the neighborhood, sit down with all the neighbors, ensure that they didn't have concerns with any of the work that we'll be doing. So Mike will take us through the plans.
I tried to log in online so I've got a few images that are a little different than what we submitted.
Mike, can you formally state your name for the record? Just
Sure.
So we.
Michael Halley Design, Westboro, Mass.
You should be admitted now and able to share. Let me know if you're not.
I'm in, and I'm not familiar, so I'm looking to share.
There's a little button at the bottom. It has an arrow in the box pointing up.
Box, huh?
Griffin, you want to go help him?
I can go ahead.
Go ahead, Kushal.
Sure. I think I got it. It's,
Yeah, yeah.
okay, and I have this opened.
Okay.
Well. There you go. Can't share your screen. All right. What if I do this old school?
Yeah, we can do it old school. We like old
Okay.
school.
All right. Excellent.
Do you want us to hold anything for you?
No, I'll do it over
Sure,
here.
okay.
I think everybody can see here. Thank you, Emily. So first with the fun part, the architectural drawings.
No. Kushal, will you just turn his microphone?
Oh, yes, yes. Speak to the microphone so that they can hear you.
Good. So this is the fun part. So the addition is a one-story addition off the back of the house. Nice and simple. It goes out 22 but 20 wide. I think we moved this addition many times. This red line kind of shows you where the setback is. It's a pre-existing non-conforming structure. So the new addition, obviously, we want to keep at least behind that line. So we push it this way. We just get on the other side of the kitchen window. So we're encouraged to miss windows, bathrooms, and kitchens, which this all does. And it also preserves a little outdoor space between the back of the garage and the new addition. And of course, We also need to relocate the bulkhead, which is here, and that is not on the site plan. So here are the elevations. Again, you can kind of see it just comes off the back of the house. Seems pretty simple until you get it into the plot plan. So I reoriented the plot plan so that the front lot line is parallel to the page. So what you see is how extreme those side yard lines are. Somebody laid this out in 1952, and worse yet, they dropped the house right here, so everything gets loaded to the right side of the lot. Somebody put an addition, who knows when, on this side. So right now, the existing corner is 4.9 feet, and our new addition is going to be 7.7 feet. So we're not as bad as the existing nonconformity. So in addition to that, we've also learned that our sheds are nonconforming as well. So that was not part of our proposal. So I guess we have to talk about the locations of these sheds and what impact that has on this project or what we do now. So I will take questions.
Okay. Anything more we need to know on this?
That'll just be an appeal at a later date, not at this current meeting. The other thing is that the legal notice was posted with the incorrect section of the bylaw. It has since been corrected in the comment letter and noted to the applicant. So.
That's sufficient?
Correct.
Okay. All right, so the you'd have to come in front of us again for the shed situation.
Okay.
All right,
Yeah,
Dave.
The sheds are not in, I'm sorry.
Yep.
And,
Dave.
excuse me.
Yes.
Madam Chair, so that would be a variance for the sheds. This is a special permit for this addition. Got it.
That's correct.
And it's only sheds that have been there for less than 10 years? Is that correct?
Yes, and you can call, well, we can contact you about that at a later
Okay.
date. We
Because
don't need
two
to.
of them were there when we moved in.
Right, absolutely.
11
So
years
we
ago.
can go over that together. But tonight, we are just hearing the appeal for the special permit. Nothing
Okay.
else.
Very good.
Okay, Dave.
Yeah, so I think you said it, you articulated it well. You are not increasing the pre-existing non-conformity.
Correct.
Of 4.9 feet, your new addition that's closest approach to the setback, the side setback is 7.7 feet. I don't see any issue with that. I typically don't. You know, that 10-foot setback, it's closer, so you're doing better than what's already there. And that's really the only element that I think I have to consider, so.
Ann?
Yeah, I agree with David. It's not increasing the nonconformity. Looks like a nice project. I don't have any problem with it.
Thank you.
Fran?
Architecturally pleasing, better setback than existing of the abutters. That's all.
Megan?
Yeah, when I first looked at this plan, I questioned whether you couldn't meet that 10-foot side setback. Seemed like you had spaces reconfigured when I was just looking at the site plan, but when I looked at the elevation, saw where the upstairs windows are, it became very clear why you've placed things where you've placed them. So because it does not increase the nonconformity, I'm comfortable with this addition.
And I would agree. I thought as the same as Megan, but I understand why you did what you did, and I think it's a lovely design, and I don't have any issue with it whatsoever. So that being said, this is a public hearing. Is there anyone that wishes to be heard on this matter? Okay, can I get a motion to close the public hearing, please?
Just one thing. Did you have a piece of paper with signatures on it?
Oh,
Would you like it? Do you want to
yes.
tell us about that and then?
Oh, yeah, so this is just a form that Mike had provided us, and what it says is, we have seen the proposed addition drawings for Emily and Brian Anderson's addition at 27 North Street, and we do not object. So I went around to all of our abutters, across the street, right, left, behind, and I just explained to them what we were doing. I showed them the proposed addition, and everyone was very encouraging, so we have all of their signatures.
We should, if you want us to take that for the record, we can do that
Yes.
and submit that.
Can I bring it up now?
All right. No further comments? All right. Can I get a motion, please?
My turn again?
I got it.
You
It's
got it?
27 North Street.
Do we need to close the public hearing, or did we do that?
Oh, can I get a motion to close the public hearing, please? Thank you, Megan.
I move to close the public hearing.
I
And a
said
second? All in favor?
Aye.
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 We should be doing roll call, as I remember.
Oh, yeah.
Dave Moore,
Aye.
Ann Ruffalo,
Aye.
Fran Manella,
Aye.
Megan Vincent,
Aye.
Mary Beth Lynch. Aye. All right, now let's get a motion.
I move to approve the appeal of Brian Anderson, 27 North Street, Shrewsbury, Mass., for a special permit to the Shrewsbury zoning bylaw, Section 7B, to allow for an addition on a pre-existing non-conforming dwelling, 7 7/10 feet from the side setback where 10 feet is required on property located at 27 North Street in the Residence B1 zoning district.
Can I get a second?
Second?
I just have a correction on the section. The section is 4C.
Okay,
So correction, 4C.
thank you. Okay, can I get a second?
Second?
All in favor? Dave Moore,
Aye.
Ann Ruffalo,
Aye.
Fran Manella,
Aye.
Megan Vincent,
Aye.
Mary Beth Lynch, aye. So moved. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Why are these people?
103.
Come on.
Are we continuing the next one?
201?
We did that. Yeah, that's the
We already did that.
barbershop.
No, we need to do 201.
Did we do it yet?
We did not do it yet.
Okay.
103 Boston
didn't do that.
Turnpike.
We
We're
need to do
done.
201 for
201.
God's sake.
Where am I?
We're at
Yeah,
201
these are
North
so
Quincy
hard to
Road.
read.
This is
though.
just
It's like,
ridiculous.
this is all
completely
messed up. There it is. It's this one. Oh, 201 North Quincy, is that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Sorry about that. Next up, this is to hear the appeal of Stephen Lucier, 164 Wayside Inn Road, Marlborough, for a variance to the Shrewsbury zoning bylaws, Section 6, Table 2, Section 7, Table 2, to allow for construction of a single-family dwelling 10.1 feet from the side yard setback where 30 feet is required upon property located at 201 North Quinsigamon Ave in the Rural V zoning district. Subject premise is described on the Shrewsbury Assessor's Tax Plate 25, Plot 011000. So, yep, if you could step forward, state your name for the record, and let us know what you're intending on doing, please.
Hi, yeah, my name is Steve Lucier. I was contracted to put a modular home on a non-conforming property. There was an existing house that didn't meet current setbacks, and the board granted us permission to do the work, provided we would get 11.2 and 11.3 for side setbacks. So when we had our final as-built survey, it was determined that one of the setbacks was 10-foot 1, and the other one was 11.7. So we're asking to see what our particular solutions could be and if I could get a variance. And the ruling at the time from the zoning board was that we would not increase the non-conformity upon the property. And the existing house that was on the property had setbacks of 5.3 and 11.7. Excuse me while I get this information. Yeah, it was 5.3 and 11.5. So the existing house had non-conforming setbacks of 5.3 and 11.5. The proposal was to do 11.2 and 11.3, and the as-built came at 10.1 and 11.7.
Okay. All right. Dave?
There's a lot to unpack here with the, just the backstory of this structure, of the prior structure, and then the new structure.
Sure.
And then what we approved. Can you give some explanation or color onto exactly how like, we gave you the setbacks that you were allowed, and then the structure was constructed. How did the structure get constructed outside of what was
Of the
permitted,
proposed setbacks?
approved? Yeah.
Unfortunately, in hindsight, I can only guess at what we did. I'm fairly certain we did not measure the four corners. We measured from the center line, from where the forms were set, and we were fine. But it appears, based on the surveyor's drawing as the final as-built, that the house might be a little bit canted on the property. A little bit scratching my head on how I have 10-1 on one side and 11-7 on the other and not more. If the proposed setback for the north side was 11-2, I would think that I would have had a little bit more on the south side. So that would lead me to believe that perhaps where I measured, I'm guessing I didn't measure the four corners, that the house had a little bit of a twist to it, and that's why you've got that front right corner on the north side being a 10-1, and the rear corner on the south side being at 11-7.
Okay, yeah, like you said,
It seems like it's
possible
canted.
It was rotated, is what you mean by
Yeah,
that? Yeah.
yep.
I did some quick math, right? The two setbacks that you were approved for was 11.2 and 11.3. That's 22.5. What you achieved was 10.1 and 11.7, which is 21.8. So you're, albeit rotated slightly, and one is closer than it should have been. You've used up. Oh no, I'm sorry. I've got it backwards. You've gone beyond, right? So you had 22.5 feet, and then that's from the property lines. Now it's 21.8 in total total distance to a property line. That's what I'm getting at. So that's not awesome. But your story does sound like it was a legitimate error and not. The thing I'm concerned about is that, like, we as a board gave permission to do the job, and then it was done, and then, this excess has occurred, or the overrun has occurred.
No, understood. I was just as disappointed in myself as you probably are in me, so.
All right. I'm all set for now.
Thank you. Ann?
So, obviously, this is very disappointing. A tongue lashing is not going to help here. But we can't be in a position where we give permission to do one thing and another thing happens. And then the thing is the building of a house. It's really important that our decisions are adhered to. And that said, okay, now we have a house that's built in the wrong place. That should never happen. It's easy to prevent that from happening, but what do we do about it? The board has it in its power to ask the building inspector, the zoning enforcement officer, to issue an order to demolish the house, but that doesn't seem like a reasonable solution here. I don't think we have a reasonable solution. I just want to make the point that this should never happen, and it's really disappointing that it's happened.
Understood. Our intention was never to do this. And if it was a stick-built house, it would be, I would be the first person to assume they pushed the limits. It was modular, so the size of the actual house hasn't changed. Unfortunately, we missed the mark on the placement. I wish I could tell you I had a smoking gun. I don't. I have some thoughts, but thoughts don't hold water when it's obviously not placed correctly on the lot.
Well, I appreciate your honesty. And there's nothing wrong with modular housing. I mean, that's a great
No, the
form
question
of-
isn't modular, but if it was stick-built, and then you could say, well, looks like they pushed it a little, try to get that extra foot somewhere. The modular house is 27.5 feet wide. It's not any wider.
Right.
It's not any smaller. That's just, it's strictly a placement issue.
Well, thank you for coming in front of the board to try to make it right. I do appreciate that.
I'm not really sure how I make it right. There's be significant costs to try to make this right by picking the house up and knocking in the foundation, disconnecting the utilities, redoing all the masonry. There's a stormwater collection system in the back. It'd be significantly challenging to try to correct this.
That's all I have.
Fran?
Yeah, just a quick question for you. Louise, does the building inspector have the authority to fine violations monetarily? Or just tear it down or not tear it down? Is that the choices you have?
They do. They usually start with the violation letter. And usually the building inspector, zoning enforcement officer usually tries to educate first. You know, they don't just,
I understand you want to educate first. I get
so,
it.
and
Yeah,
try and make it right, which is why they're here. If there's a violation, then a letter is sent, and then I believe there is a fee schedule. I'm not
I just
100%
asked if
certain
it's
on that.
within the purview of the building inspector to fine violators. It's the only question I have. If you know the answer.
I don't have the fee schedule in front of me, but they do send the violation letter to let them know that they have violated a zoning
So
bylaw.
there is a fining or, okay. But I'm sure it's not substantial, probably minor. Yeah, this is a bad thing. You put us in a box. I don't want to see you knock down your house. I don't want to see anybody knock down your house, but you gotta comply. Because after the fact, it's gonna, I get about begging forgiveness and all that sort of thing, but forgiveness may not be available to you, at some point. And to other property owners in town, they gotta understand, you can't do this. That's all I have.
Megan?
What I will say next does not negate the comments that everybody else has stated, because it is disappointing that this happened. However, the original decision was to ensure that we were not increasing the nonconformity on the site. And we haven't still, even though this mistake was made. The original, if you look at the original setbacks, I think it was 16.8 feet total. And we're at 21.8 now, where they said they'd do 22.5. So while I am disappointed that we are in this position and kind of backed into a corner here, I am somewhat relieved that the nonconformity was not increased. It was increased from what was approved, but it's not increasing the overall nonconformity from the existing structure.
Thank you. I mean, it's clear to me that you are, I don't know what word to use, horrified, maybe? I don't know. You seem humbly sorry for what has happened, and I think the fact that it's a modular home adds a little bit more color to the whole discussion. To all my colleagues' points, I mean, if this happens all the time, then we have no zoning bylaws. I mean, they're not enforceable. And we've had something like this come in front of us before, but it was a poured foundation, and I still rest my case that it was a deliberate mistake, like, whoops, sorry. I don't think this was deliberate in your case. I think you did it, and it's a sincere apology. So, and I don't know that really any of the options available to us are going to help any of us proceed forward. So, to my colleague's point, I just think we have to move along, but just make it stated in the record that we're disappointed that it happened and it shouldn't have happened. But
Understood.
that's all I have to say. Okay, this is a public hearing. Is there anybody that wishes to be heard on this matter? Okay, can I get a motion to close the public hearing, please?
I move to close the public hearing.
Can I get a second?
Aye. Second.
Okay. All in favor? Dave Moore.
Aye.
Ann Ruffalo.
Aye.
Fran Manella.
Aye.
Megan Vincent.
Aye.
Mary Beth Lynch, aye. So moved. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now I have to move it into existence. May I make a motion?
Yes.
Wait 1 sec.
Hold on.
Hold on. Sorry, we didn't
One
finish.
more.
Sorry.
Fast escape before you change your mind.
I move to, with regard to 201 North Quinsigamond Ave in the Rural B District, to approve the variance requested to Section 7, Table 2, to allow for the construction of a single-family dwelling 10 1/10 feet from the side yard setback where 30 feet is required.
Any second?
Second.
All in favor? Dave Moore?
This was a motion to approve.
Yes.
Aye.
Ann Ruffalo?
Aye.
Fran Manella?
Aye.
Megan Vincent?
Aye.
Mary Beth Lynch, aye. So moved.
Thank you.
Come on.
Okay.
I don't even know if there's a lot. I know. I must have something left. What's left?
Oh, 103 Boston Turnpike?
Oh, I thought that was withdrawn.
No.
Number 2.
I'm not offline.
All right.
Piece of crap.
Okay. Right, next on our agenda, this is to hear the appeal of Garrett Horsfall, 0 Campanelli Drive, Braintree, Mass. For 2 special permits to the Shrewsbury zoning bylaws, Section 4B, to allow for construction of a building on a pre-existing, non-conforming setback 8 feet from the front setback where 40 feet is required, and 8 feet from the side setback where 15 feet is required, upon property located at 103 Boston Turnpike in the Commercial Business Zoning District. Subject premise is described on the Shrewsbury Assessor's Tax Plate 31, Plot 216000. You could please state your name for the record.
Good evening, Garrett Horsfall with Kelly Engineering Group, civil site engineer for the project, also with Josh Katzen, who is representing the property ownership here. And also with me is Giovanni Caesar from Stonefield Engineering, who represents the proposed or prospective tenant that may occupy the proposed use in the site once we get into the project here. So the existing site is the Quinsigamon Plaza, as it's more commonly known in the town of Shrewsbury. It has the Trader Joe's at the rear, Total Wine. Josh has been acquiring several parcels throughout the years, and we've been in front of various boards at various times throughout the number of years here. It's about 9.2 acres currently, and it's in the commercial business zone, and properly right now we have 67 to 77 and 87 to 97 Boston Turnpike. Josh has recently entered into an agreement with the abutter at 103 Boston Turnpike to purchase that property. That is known as the Perone Barbershop. It has a tailor shop component at the rear of the site. That building is currently an existing non-conforming building relative to side and front setbacks. The existing side setback is actually 8.1 feet, and the front is about 0.8 feet. So we are proposing a new Chase Bank development at this corner of the site here. The proposed building would not encroach further into the setbacks. It would match the existing we would use 8.1 and 0.8 feet. I believe that the record has 8 feet written. We did have some additional survey done, and there was a letter received from an abutter. I believe they're here tonight as well in regards to the abutting property. We have been addressing those comments relative to the driveway access between the parcels, and we've actually resubmitted revised plans to maintain that driveway as it exists today. In the proposed development. However, I understand that might not be really the consideration of the zoning board tonight, but we wanted to put that on the record as well. Just for reference, though, the existing side setback would be 8.1 feet away, exactly how it exists today, within the existing footprint of that building on the right-hand side. And if the proposed front setback would be 0.8 along the frontage, it actually would extend further off to the left, but increase it no further than 0.8 with what exists today. This is consistent, as you can see from the screen, with abutting properties and other developments along Route 9 in this area, and is actually encouraged within the Lakeway Overlay District. However, we're not applying under that, but it is encouraged within this district. There's actually a maximum. We're just applying under the underlying zoning, which is why we've requested the 2 special permits from Section 4. Item B of your zoning bylaw here tonight. And we did receive that letter from the abutter. We did issue some revised plans in response to that, primarily keeping the driveway intact as it is today. And we're glad to answer any questions the board may have, unless Josh.
Okay, thank you. Dave?
Do we have anything from Louise?
Not at the moment.
Okay. So let me want to make sure I heard all that right. The front setback or is currently 0.8 feet, and that's not increasing.
It's going to be, well, it won't be encroaching further, but the 0.8 would be extended further to the, if you're looking at the screen to the left.
How much longer of that extension are we talking about here?
Mind if I just scale it off on the easel, if that's okay?
Yeah, I'm also okay with so there's the pre-existing structure, the new structure. We're talking about like twice the size, 3 times the size.
It's approximately the same size as the existing building, flipped over.
Just for reference, the purple box is the existing structure.
Yep.
The proposed structure is about 2,800 square feet. They're roughly very similar sized structures. The extension, that way would be about, let me just get my scale here. 35 feet plus or minus.
Okay.
But continuing that 0.8, it's actually a little bit inbound, a couple areas, but we didn't go any closer than 0.8 for the overall structure.
Okay, I appreciate you getting out the scale. And then the side setback, just go over that for me one more time.
Yep.
Also, where is that property line on your map?
So this is the property line here.
Yep.
Right here. It's actually 8.1 feet. We did do some additional measurements in response to this letter that was received, just to properly show this abutting building at the same time. So it's 8.1 feet that we would hold to the proposed building.
Okay.
Existing would be, and the existing one is actually a little bit further. Our proposed building a little bit less.
Okay. Got it.
Our Louise, sorry.
And I don't have, I didn't receive PDF copies, right? I looked in my email. We just have the hard copies.
I think I'd uploaded onto the portal.
Okay. But I will also.
Onto both the planning and zoning application.
Okay.
One for each of us.
And I will upload them to the drive. Or Griffin, will you upload those to the drive?
I have no more questions now. Probably more.
Right, Ann?
Okay, 3 questions, I'll start with one. I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to read the abutter letter in more depth before just now, but I think what I'm reading is that, is there a property line dispute?
There was a dispute with the building as it was shown previously. So our office has been involved in this this plaza for probably 20 plus years, and as we've kind of been segmenting parcels, this building was previously sort of digitized, whatever, so we actually went back out there and located it again and measured it off the property line in response to the letter that was received. So we've updated the plans to properly reflect that building. It was shown closer to the property line in previous plans that were submitted.
Okay, so this is a letter from Andrew Lechner, who's asking for a phone call to discuss a matter that seems like it's a property line issue. And did you guys have that phone call?
Well, no, we did not, because Mr. Lechner promptly, after sending us the letter, had to recuse himself from representing the neighboring family.
Right. That makes
so
sense.
we asked him to please tell them that we're available to talk at any time, although they didn't have counsel at that point.
Okay.
But just to reiterate, I think that the question had to do with showing the neighboring building, not showing our building. We just showed the neighboring building wrong. So we changed where the neighboring building is, but it doesn't affect the development.
All right, I'm going to pass at this point. I'll come back to me later.
Other than mourning the loss of Perron's, I got my hair cut for 100
We
years.
mourn the loss of Nick Perron for a long
I know, they moved down below, I go down there. Anyway, I don't see why I would object to this. It's a good use of the property. It's another bank, okay, it's another bank, well, big deal. It's like saying there's more traffic. So, I don't have a problem with this, little switcheroo from barber shop to bank.
Okay. Megan?
I don't have any comment at this time.
Okay.
I think I understand the setbacks and what has happened. I'm curious, I'm looking at the abutter letter as we speak, now that I have it. But I think I understand. I don't think I have any comments.
Okay. And I too missed the abutter letter, so we're trying to catch up in real time, which is not an easy thing to do in a meeting like this. So just to reiterate, can you just talk about the dispute over the property line? Where are we at with that?
May I?
Louise, want to say something?
So I did not see that the updated plans were uploaded, so that is on me, but they are now in the drive. And so after looking at the original versus what is proposed now, it does seem, the 115 Boston Turnpike existing building, JP Fadul, that building was shown closer to the property line than it actually is. So I think that was the dispute, not necessarily the property line at this time.
It wasn't a dispute. We
Okay.
agreed with them.
Okay, and so it was just, they did not show it correctly.
Property line didn't change. We
The
just
revised
added-
plans have been uploaded since, again, that is on us. So I think the property line is what it is, but the existing building has now since been updated for 115 Boston Turnpike to accurately show where it is in real time.
Okay, thank you, that's helpful.
Okay.
Can I go again? I have a couple
Yes, you can go again, of course.
So this is just a administrative thing. I noticed that many waivers have been requested. Did you intend to do that?
I was not. I thought we had uploaded everything with drainage. I saw there was a whole slew of waivers in the staff letter. However, we had submitted everything. I just
Yeah, we were questioning the same thing. You obviously have fully rendered site plans, so whoever did the application clicked every single waiver request.
Oh, okay.
So if that's not correct, then we will, ignore that.
I thought. Okay, I saw the same thing when I saw the letter. I was like, we
Yeah.
uploaded all this stuff, so.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I have nothing else.
Okay, all right. Did we hear from Megan yet? No. Megan?
Yeah, I have no
Heard-
comment. I'm good.
Yeah, okay. All right, wonderful. Anything else before we move on to public? Okay. All right. This is a public hearing. Is there anyone that wishes to be heard on this matter? And I can't see if there's a hand raised because your
Can we
thing
move
is
that
in the
sign?
way. Please, if you could step forward. Yeah. Right here to the lectern, if you don't mind, and we need you to just state your name for the record, please, and your address.
My name is Paul Bro, and along with my wife Mary, who's in the back, we represent the JP Fadul Company located at 115 Boston Turnpike, who is the direct abutter, the only direct abutter to 103 Boston Turnpike, which is currently owned by the Peronis. Our property has been with us since 1965. The Peronis have been our neighbor, our friendly neighbor, that entire time. We have, we look forward, the Peronis have decided to sell their property, and we look forward to a new neighbor in Chase Bank, but want to do so without being disadvantaged. To that end, we'd like to make some comments for the board to consider. One, following up on a comment that was just made, there are numerous waiver requests in the application, which we feel are directed not in our favor, such as names and addresses of the direct butters. So if we look at D, E, F, G, K, N, and P, we would ask the board to consider not approving those particular waiver requests, because we would like to be notified of anything that goes on. For example, letter N, the drainage calculations necessary to demonstrate there will be no adverse impacts to the adjacent properties. You'll note that whether there was a property line dispute or not, there was a property line incorrectly shown in the site plan. a version 2 of the site plan has now been submitted after that letter that was spoken about earlier was brought to the attention of the applicant. That also included the drainage. The drainage plan that was originally submitted has now been amended and changed. There were, for example, 6 holding tanks in the original plan because it didn't include that additional area, which is our property. The new amended drainage plan includes a 7th holding tank. So there is a distinct difference. There's a possibility, I'm not an engineer, that that water could have backed up into our basement. Don't know. But that's been amended at this point. There is also a storage tank underground that the Peronis put in years ago to collect water from their roofs and our roof. Whether or not that is going to be taken out to put in the new drainage system, I don't know. But half of that, or a portion of that, sits on our property. Because we had a friendly relationship with the Peronis, we never questioned that. And they said, we'll hook you up from your gutters off of your roof into that system. So that water currently goes into an underground tank. If that tank is to be removed, I'd like the board to consider putting a stipulation that written permission be given from us to go on our property, which may sound like common sense. However, we have a history in the back of our property, going back many years, with the same applicant, who paved over an access road on our property without our knowledge. And we got into a legal dispute. Currently, holes were drilled on our side of the driveway for, I'm assuming, soil samples, but they could have drilled it on their side. So this is current, and the holes were filled in Saturday, because I was there Friday, I was there Sunday, and on Sunday the holes were filled in again. So there's a history of coming onto our property, and all we're asking is that we not be disadvantaged. Also, we'd ask that the board consider restricting the work hours. Our particular zoning is mixed zoning. We have commercial portion underneath on the lower part of the building, and the upper part of the building is labeled residential. So we rent out the top portion of the building. We'd like to be sure that any deconstruction and reconstruction is done during normal business hours so that our renters are not disadvantaged with noise, construction, etc. We'd also ask for a estimated completion date of the project, so we'd have some idea. Just we want to be in the loop of what's going on. So we'd ask you to consider those comments and appreciate your listening.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that wishes to be heard? Is there anybody back there? Because I can't see.
Can you
Anybody
move
back
the
there?
sign?
No.
That you're drawing.
There's nobody back there?
No one else.
Okay.
For the public comment. this evening.
Okay.
I have a question for Louise.
Yes.
Are any of the things that abutter just spoke about part of what planning board has to
Yes,
address?
Absolutely.
Okay,
So
okay,
they
just
will, this project will be before the planning board to hear the modification to the original site plan for that plaza. So the site, stormwater and drainage report will all be reviewed. So
Okay. yeah, I just wanted to make sure we were all clear on what, we as a board have the authority to really,
Most of,
Right.
none of it.
we're looking at.
Two
the-
special permits.
The two special permits.
That's it. That's
Got it.
what's in front of us.
Yep.
Yep. Ann, do you have comments?
No, I think what I'm hearing from both the abutter and the applicant is that there is no property line dispute, it's just neighbor issues. I mean, I don't mean to diminish that, but like, there is not a property line dispute right now.
It's not a surveying error. You're saying it's a
Nothing
trespass
from the
error.
gallery. Okay, thank you.
No, not even.
Yes, sir, if you could come back up.
wanna come
I'm
back
sorry
up?
to make you walk back and forth, but.
As the original site plan was put forth, there was a property line dispute because we were left out. Our portion of the driveway was not even shown. However, coincidentally, in the fire engine drawing that was submitted also, and in some of the other drawings, such as the lighting drawing, the property line was shown properly. So I believe in the site plan and in the drainage, because the drainage changed. So there was a dispute because we're sensitive to the fact that that water, which backs up, can back up quite a bit, could have been coming into our basement.
Okay, thank you very much.
Now it's been refiled and it appears to be correct.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you, I appreciate that.
The here and now is correct.
Yep.
Okay.
So what's in front of us is a request for two special permits. That's it.
We have a bunch of waivers here, madam, don't we?
No, we
But the
discussed that in the waivers. That was an accidental request in the online application.
So I'd like my fellow board members, I feel like there's a lot to unpack here, using Dave's language. There's only two special permits in front of us, but we have waivers that weren't
Yeah.
properly presented. I think there's a lot of information that we need to consider. My suggestion is that we continue the hearing.
Yep.
Especially given the fact that the appellant is going to be in front of the planning board. So we're not holding anything up. So that would be my suggestion.
Some of these waivers are reasonable, some of these I don't think are. I think we need to
think they're
review them
withdrawn,
in a.
But I think we can talk about that
Yeah.
in the month that we have
I'm
to
with you.
continue. Does that make sense?
Saying I join you, madam.
Yeah, right. Makes sense, right? Okay.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. So can I get a motion for continuance, please?
Move to continue the hearing on
Date specific.
to,
Did we close the public hearing? I'm sorry
I
to be
did
that
not,
person
because we're
again.
continuing. We're
Oh,
continuing.
I got, they're right, you're right, never mind.
move to continue the hearing on 103 Boston Turnpike
Yeah.
to
April
April 27th.
April 27th.
April
2026. Yep, 2026 at 6 PM.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor, Dave Moore,
Aye.
Ann Ruffalo,
Aye.
Fran Manella,
Aye.
Megan Vincent,
Aye.
Mary Beth Lynch, aye. Okay.
See you next month.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. I think
Anything left?
that might thankfully be the end of this meeting. So if I could get a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn?
Second?
Second?
All in favor, Dave Moore,
Aye.
Ann Ruffalo,
Aye.
Fran Manella,
Aye.
Megan Vincent,
Aye.
Mary Beth Lynch, aye. So moved.